Hey, what's going on, guys? Recently, I've started thinking about console-exclusive games that I think should be on other platforms. This video will be all about Xbox games that I think would be neat if they came over to PlayStation. So let's get into it. The first game on the list is a game that was released earlier this year, South of Midnight. I remember watching the Xbox showcase where this was first revealed and immediately loving the look of it. As someone who's originally from the South, it just looks so cool. I was very interested and kept it on my radar. When it came out earlier this year, I put a few hours into it, but Xbox just isn't my preferred platform, so I find it harder to stick with a game on there. And I know what some of you are thinking, well, just play it on PC. And yeah, that is a solution, but my PC is honestly quite bad, and I don't have the money right now to upgrade or get a new one. Plus, I do prefer gaming on console anyway. I really enjoyed the few hours I put into South of Midnight, and think it would be really cool to see it on PlayStation. The next game I want on PlayStation comes from one of my favorite developers ever, Don't Nod. The studios behind Life is Strange 1 and 2, Remember Me, Vampire, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, and more. One of their only exclusive games is exclusive to Xbox, and that game is Tell Me Why. Tell Me Why is a game that builds off of their Life is Strange titles and does some really cool things. The game is about twins Allison and Tyler Ronan, set in a small town in Alaska, were tasked with helping the twins get to know one another again while also finding the truth about what happened to their mother. There's cozy moments and very tense and suspenseful moments too. It's probably Don't Nod's tamest supernatural element, but it's there. We're not rewinding time or controlling things with our mind, but instead we as the players have to decide whose memories we believe more. As Allison and Tyler try to figure out what really happened to their mother, there will be times where a current event will make them both remember something from their past. Obviously though, they both remember what happened differently. I absolutely love this game. It's not my favorite Don't Nod game, and I still think Life is Strange 2 is the best of that particular series, even if that's still not my favorite Life is Strange game. But I think everyone that likes games that are similar to Life is Strange should absolutely play this game. And knowing that nothing else from Don't Nod is exclusive also makes me want this on PlayStation even more. I've personally already played the game on both Xbox and Steam, but I think everyone should have a chance to play it. The final game on the list is Insomniac Games' only Xbox exclusive game, Sunset Overdrive. Which you could probably guess. Back when Insomniac was still independent a decade ago, they wanted to make a new IP. They initially talked with Sony, who was okay with the idea, but they also wanted to own the IP. But this time Insomniac wanted to keep this new IP for themselves, and that's when they approached Microsoft. Microsoft agreed to help fund the game just as long as it was released as an exclusive title for the Xbox One. Insomniac agreed, and the rest is history. Sunset Overdrive isn't the best game ever, but it's incredibly fun. The movement feels really good and has a very DMC style to it. The more you keep moving, jumping, bouncing, etc., the more you're rewarded in-game. It has a very fun but wacky story to go along with it, and it's just a hell of a good time. A good time that you could only play on Xbox for 4 years. It would eventually get a PC release in 2018, but by that point most people just didn't care anymore. This game is one of the top games that people mention when this topic comes up now. With Microsoft releasing more and more of their games on PlayStation, the conversation keeps coming back to Sunset Overdrive. Especially since Insomniac is now owned by Sony, thus meaning PlayStation owns the IP. But unfortunately, it's not that simple, and there are a few issues with bringing it over. Number one, the game barely broke even. It was not a profitable game at all, and there's not a guarantee that it would sell that much better a decade later on the PS5. Number two, Insomniac are currently busy making Marvel games, along with making one new Ratchet & Clank game per console generation at this point. Now, I will admit that this one is the shakiest of all my reasons, as you could literally hire any dev team to just port it over and iron out the kinks, but I'm sure most people would prefer the original devs doing that job instead. And number three is the biggest reason, I think. You would need to get everyone on board with the idea. Sony, Microsoft, and Insomniac would all have to agree, and if there's just not a financial incentive for doing it, then it's not going to happen. It sucks, but that's the way it is. Either way, I would love if somehow it did make its way over. I know that there are a lot of people who would buy the game just because of the connection to Insomniac, a connection that a lot of people just didn't have on the Xbox side when it originally came out in fall 2014. I know it probably won't, but I think it should. But you know what? That's all I've got for this video. Those were 3 games that I would love to make their way to PlayStation. Let me know in the comments if there are any games that you would like to see make their way over to PlayStation, And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stick around because I've also got the inverse in the works as well, PlayStation exclusives that I think should find their way over to Xbox. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye guys.